Hey, here we are at SpeedsGiving 2023. I'm your host Nick, and this is the start of what could be 42-ish hours of gaming. We're doing it for a good cause, trying to raise some money for Give Directly, a very highly rated, reputable charity that does their best to give money directly to the people that need it. I thought it was a great cause, so I will be matching dollar for dollar all the way up to the goal. You'll see as the stream goes, there'll be some URL linkage sort of stuff. Maybe in chat it'll be dropped along the way. But yeah, it's all for a good cause. It's a charity speedrunning marathon. It's the first one. Hopefully this is a yearly sort of thing. But there is some solid gaming ahead of us. There's a lot to get into. So I wanted to start with, I call it a look back. And I wanted to, I've spent some time in the speedrunning scene, in the video game music scene, and I've made a lot of good, talented friends. I wanted to start my stream off with a look back at what they all got up to over the last year, and sort of feature the year that was, before getting into a little bit more of what this stream is really all about, and more of a look back into my years as a speedrunner. But for now, let us begin. I believe the boys can tell you themselves.
Super Guitar Bros. New album out now. Oh my god, you guys, it's so cool!
Yeah! That's right, guys. Our new album is out, and it's called Gentle Video Game Guitar Covers for Relaxation.
Ooh, ooh, yeah! Fuck!
Here it comes, you guys. 12 different tracks. 12 different video games. Except the first track is not from a video game.
Oops! We got Google's Bones, Pizza's Castle, Bowser Road, Studiopolis, Earthbound Towns, Castlevania 2, Starvark, Freya's Theme, Sailor's Dungeon, Witch Shop, Little How to Get Ambient, Control 3. It's coming again!
Oh no, here it comes!
Coming back!
Oh, look out!
Oh, you gotta get it!
Go,
You
get
need
it! Get it now! Get it now! What are you waiting for? Go get it! No!
Amazing. Amazing. What a promo. Super Guitar Brothers. A very talented act of two very talented guitarists. I've had the pleasure of hanging and chilling and knowing these boys for, I don't know, I feel like a lot of these guys were at 10 years plus now. And they've been consistently putting out better and better music, better and better video production. And I was so lucky this last year when they came to town. They actually reached out personally to me and offered me tickets to their show. And it was magical. When they played Aquatic Ambiance from Donkey Kong Country, I felt like I could feel the audience holding their breath so that they could hear the guitars better. It was quite the performance, and to have them actually reach out to me and offer the ticket, that touched my heart. So you know I had to feature Super Guitar Brothers. They just put out a new album. I actually got a streaming platform just for it. I got Amazon Music just to give them a little bit of, I don't know what they calculate, but give them one more of those. So Gentle Video Game Guitar Covers for Relaxation is out now. I've listened to it a few times. As I said, I got a whole music service just to listen, and it's worth it. All of their albums are excellent, great guys, real talented, and they're still, even though they just recorded a full album, they're still putting out new tracks that have awesome videos too. If you've never seen any of their actual playthrough videos, definitely check out the Super Guitar Brothers YouTube. It's and there's Aquatic Ambiance right there. Yep, see, these are some of my favorites. Awesome, awesome. Love the guys. Super Guitar Brothers. Yeah, get them. They're great. Another super talented artist I've had the pleasure of knowing for 10 plus years. I know it's 10 plus years with this one. Mega Ran, aka Random. Great, great artist. So, I'll get to that, but to just get into Mega Ran for a moment and where I'm coming from when it comes to Mega Ran. I did a track for the album Spectrum of Mana. I did a, I started, there was an album Spectrum of Mana that kind of led to a Chrono Trigger album, actually, how it ended up. And the Chrono Trigger album, Chronicles of Time, I did a track on that with my friend BF, and it was, you might be surprised, it was a rap track. It was a full 3-ish minute rap track all about Yasunori Mitsuda, the composer of Chrono Trigger. And I'd never recorded a rap track before, so I was doing the mix down, and there was something missing, and I was just like, I reached out to Mega Ran. I was like, hey, this just sounds kind of empty. What am I missing here? And he, no problem at all, just gave me the fix I needed real easy, since he had such experience in the field. And ever since, anytime I would reach out and he'd hit me back. Even recently, going to the run-up to SpeedsGiving, I reached out and was like, hey, I'd love to feature you. Do you have anything coming out this last year that you want featured, or anything like that, anything coming up? And he's like, listen, I actually do have an album coming out that's a secret, but yeah, I do have something. I appreciate the promo. And so I wanted to play some of it here. This is the, well, more or less the title track for his recently released album. Damn.
Yeah, it's still real to me, damn it. You haters just knocking it cause you don't understand it. Hot shot and belts in the last second panic. We on long-term bucking feet planet. I don't vanish, they want me to fall back, make room for the others, but nah, I'm sorry, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. The work that we produce make a listener go damn, like he working with Farouk. Got you worked into a shoot. I'm the Shawn Michaels of the song cycle, Paul Bearer of the small era, the new face of terror. Toss you off the cage in a fit of rage, make Foley look like Steve-O or Margera. They wondering if that mania done hit the bricks. We like Terry Funk, homie, we ain't never quit. Pop up unexpectedly, perpetual motion. Jeff Jarrett getting bags from every promotion.
Love that line. He ain't wrong either. Mega Ran, what an artist. The subject matter might not be right up your alley. His latest album was about wrestling. I was super into it as a 90s kid, but at any rate, he does a lot of different subject matter. He's got tons of albums, tons. And if wrestling isn't your thing, he's got lots of video game style covers. He's got lots of actual like narratives that are very, poignant and emotional. He's a very prolific talent. He's spent a lot of time making his own beats, so he don't front either. My favorite album of his, as many others may agree, it's called the Black Materia album, and it's a Final Fantasy VII concept album where he raps about Cloud Strife. He raps about the fight in the Northern Crater, and he's got a lot of talented friends with him. I could obviously keep going and keep going, talking about Mega Ran, but I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to go to my next set of buddies. Let's take a look. So, the video game cover band act from Rhode Island, Lame Genie. Excuse me. Just take a look-see here. Can I just say also, the pretension index, that one hit different to me. That's a reference to Thrice, when the band Thrice kind of went off the deep end and really changed their sound. But just a personal anecdote, at any rate, you can see, apparently I had started to talk to them right about as they started up, because I remember the release of speedruns, and my goodness, look at all they've done since then. Over this last year, they have released Jokes for Humans, which is just, what a title, a 12-track album, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, the metal album, an 8-track album, and very recently, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the metal album. So, I was in the band The World is Square. That's how I found a lot of these people that I'm speaking about now. We did Square Enix songs. We played out live, and about a year, I'd say, into us playing out, we met Lame Genie. And there was just something about that band, those three guys, that you just knew that they really wanted it, like they were gonna go full power towards their goal. And as you saw with their Bandcamp releases, they are really putting out the content. I actually had the bright idea of, since they have so much content, even someone like me has a hard time keeping up with it sometimes. So, I thought it might be kind of fun to experience their newest song, their newest video, and give a bit of a live reaction to it, because I haven't listened to it yet. I know the game, but I don't know the song, so I'll be very excited to hear what it sounds like. And Octopath Traveler, main theme goes harder, metal version. Yes, yes. Show me what you've been up to, boys. Wow, guitar work already, man. Ooh, nice orchestration of the drums. That's gotta be personal choice. He must have done that himself. I can't be in the song. Very nice melody. Look at the production. Look at the production of these guys. Nice fills. Ooh, wow. really come into their own over the years. It's just so consistently good. It's pro. They're pros. This song is really good too. Wow. Wow. Man. Whew. Patreon for them. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Come on. Come on. They do that all themselves. They took the idea of putting a video game band together and having a funny, cool video game themed band name, and they came from one of the littlest states in the United States, and they just that's called undeniable talent right there. You get to a point where you're so good that you know you're good. No one can say any different. The proof is in the pudding. It shows song after song, and you just saw there, they're still cranking all the time. They've got new content. What an act. They've always been the workhorses of the VGM scene, of my friends to me. And please, do show your support. Just this last year, 3 albums, plus more songs. Awesome. Next. Night of the Round. Night of the Round, baby. We got the Oest of G's in the Final Fantasy metal scene. They are, bar none, my favorite metal act that I've ever met. If you don't know, let me take you way back here. Way back. This is some of the first music I heard from them, as you can see, 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Let me just, if you'll allow me, let me play some of this for you. That's from their first album, their first full album as they formed a band under the leadership of Justin Taylor, guitarist, and recording, mixing master extraordinaire. I've had the luck of working with him on at least one album. I think he did some stuff for me on another set of tracks I did, but it's surprisingly a 4-piece, and they sometimes a 4-piece is all you need, especially when it comes to non-vocal type tracks. So, what have they been up to over the last year? Well, very active personal life, which as a friend, I am privy to, which, good on you, boys. Other than that, they have put out, not quite last year, but fairly recently, 7. Art, first off, killer, just like their sounds. They put out, they're one of the few bands I know that have the ability to put out vinyls. They, if you're a fan of vinyl, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Guys, if you're a fan of vinyl, you're a fan of metal, and you're a fan of Final Fantasy music, that is the perfect pickup. They've done some work on their old tracks, mixing and mastering. They've done some rewrites of their old tracks. They've done new tracks that they have just put on 7. It is a tour de force. It's always an appreciated listen when you put it on. And allow me to say, super cool that they have vinyl. Like I said, if you're a fan of vinyl, that's the perfect one to get. They have quite a few releases, as you can see. I could speak about all of these. But as this is kind of a look back at the last year, Fate's Delusion. Here's an album that they put out last year. And guess what? Look at that. Look at that. Insane production. They have all their songs up for listen and download here at their Bandcamp. Links to their amazing merch. Look at this. Oh my goodness. They have so much music. They're the best. Sorry. I'm just seeing these, and I actually didn't know that the Gold Saucer track made it onto Fate's Delusion until right now. Well, allow me to kind of reinsert myself in the narrative. On the original album, I think it was Fate's Delusion that track came out on. I remember hanging out with Night of the Rounds, and I think I was in their tour van, if I remember correctly, and Justin looked back at me. He was letting us listen to the album before it was released, and he looked back at me and he was like, "Hey, did you know that you gave me the idea for this song?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Are you pointing at me? You serious?" And yeah, I didn't even remember, but apparently at one point in our goings on, hanging out, I had kind of like sung out the melody to "Wouldn't It Be Cool If Gold Saucer Theme Was Made Metal?" And I guess that got in his head, and he wrote it out. And when he told me that it was like inspired by me and my idea, that hit different. Listen to this, man. Good boys. I'm gonna try not to just listen to this straight through. Yeah, this is it. This is the part I sang out of them. Okay, so just to give you some context there, that is a Knight of the Round, hyper talented, pure crystalline sound, really good at what they do. Really, really good dudes too. Long storied history with those guys. Anything they put out is a must listen to. And yeah, I am very proud to feature them. They're kind of one of the acts that came around, and I didn't know about for a little while as I started with the World of Square. And then once I found them, it was like, oh yeah, these guys. Yeah, no, we're not in the same league as these guys. We play video game music too, but Night of the Round, yeah, they're legit. Very, very cool. What up to all the viewers? We got 2 runners for SpeedsGiving in chat right now, actually. So love it. On to the next. That's gonna do it for like our direct video game music coverage. On to the next though. This one's pretty exciting for me. Bubzia. Bubzia is, as you might be able to tell, blindfolded speedrunner. He, I think it's, I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure it's blindfoldedgaming.com is the website he runs. He's been a singular force in the speedrun community for blindfolded speedrunning, as you can see here.
So today we will do a blindfolded 120 star speedrun of Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
We will try to get
You
every
serious?
single star in this game without being able to see. This here is my lovely blindfold. It's the pure black here. It is not, you cannot see through it at all. It is not transparent. There is no monitor behind it, as many people always like to joke about.
Monitor behind the blindfold, come on. Come on, we're
my
just
setup,
speedrunners. You think
as
we
you
got
can
stuff
see,
like that?
On the lower bottom of the screen there is a second camera, which I will use to stand up sometimes and stretch my legs. So I
Yeah.
can still verify
See?
that I'm blindfolded.
Long
even if I
speedruns, you
stand
need
up
to
a
take
bit.
care of your own health. Jolly Roger Bay, blindfolded. Can you believe this? Alright, so instead of just watching his videos and being impressed, Bubzia does really ingenious normalization strategies. He memorizes. In a game as complicated as Super Mario 64, getting on straight line courses like he's doing right now, as you can see, he just clipped the edge. He needs to know where he is everywhere, every second in every level without being able to see. So he's come up with really interesting strategies to make sure he's always in the spots he needs to be. As you can see there, he knows a wall kick and 4 flips get him into the area he wants to get to right now, and he's back at the wall he's interested in. You can see a star count here. 117 of 120. And the red coins in the fly cap stage. Ooh, goodness.
All safe, right?
120 stars. I figured this would be,
Oh my god.
yeah man, the most obvious example of the journey he has been on.
Honestly, guys, I learned so much during this journey about not only blindfolded, but about mentality, about speedrunning, about life, dude. It was all worth it. All the struggles, it was all worth it.
Oh, beautiful to hear. He got it. First ever person to speedrun all 100 120 stars in Super Mario 64. Unreal, right? Unreal. Bubzia single-handedly putting blindfolded speed gaming to the next level. Super champ. I can't believe I've been going on so long. I've been really giving everyone their due. So let's go a little bit further. Bubzia, though, check out all his content. Mario 64 is just the start. He's a monster in the best way possible. The next content I want to play is a little clip from Super RPG Friends.
I'm a Super RPG friend. I played a billion games. They're all up on my Twitch. I have a ton of stuff there, so check me out.
I want you to know how I had like a little tingling on my skin when you're like, yeah, I'm a Super RPG friend. I speedrun games. I was like, yes. I was like, I want to hear people identify as a Super RPG friend. Fuck yes.
I'm super hyped that you guys had me back. Like, you guys are all super personable, nice people, and it's nice to be able to talk to people. Like, I've played 300 RPGs. I don't get to talk to people all the time that have played a few dozen at least, you know.
Super RPG Friends. I think that will pretty much give a pretty clear idea of what they got going on. They play through the best of RPGs, and they do it weekly on their Twitch stream. Every once in a while, when I'm lucky enough, I get to pop on, and it's just the coolest, nicest hangout. It's just your Super RPG friends, and they've just finished up a Final Fantasy VII playthrough. I found them as they were playing Lunar the Silver Star, one of my favorite speed games, and through a little bit of chatting in their Twitch chat, a hop, skip, and a jump later, I was featured on their show, and I have some things going on that I might get into a little later, but there is now, I've been asked to be a bigger part of the show, so I might be on Super RPG Friends more consistently. If it works out, we'll see. I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I would love to. It's always a great hangout, and catch them every Thursday around 7 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Super RPG Friends. They're just starting Suikoden next week, so that's one of my favorites too. They have tons of content on their YouTube, and it is killer money. They've done, I don't know, maybe half dozen full playthroughs of games now. Can't recommend enough. Super solid. And on to I Dream of Indie. That's a cool looking indie game.
Cinematic action platformers. They're divisive to say the least. You can't mention this genre without flashing back, see what I did there, to games like 1991's Another World. You had 1992's Flashback, which is often confused for Another World.
Yeah, that's a good point. I confused the two myself. So, I Dream of Indie is a prolific YouTube channel run by two people I used to be in a VGM act with. Gamer Joe and Angela. Now, they've always really been proponents of gaming culture, and now they're using their knowledge and skill to feature indie titles on their YouTube channel. They've made so much progress in the last year. Look at all this content. They're really doing some stuff, and they're doing it for the love of gaming. They've got some good people working with them now too, and they are cranking it out. They are workhorses in their own right as well. And we were in a band called Codename Trigger Thumb, put out an album about 10 years ago, wouldn't you know it. But yes, I Dream of Indie, happy to feature them as well. Now, here is why I decided to start my own charity speedrunning marathon. This is pretty much a full list of my all-time speedrunning world records. It's got a little bit of editing. I did just recently find there's a surviving run of Kefka at Narsh that's faster than this run, but other than that, we're looking back just about 10 years here. You see that date? 4/10/2013. And let's just take a quick look. We got Sonic the Hedgehog. Turns out 4 of my surviving runs are the oldest glitchless any percent runs on the internet of Sonic the Hedgehog. I was getting speedrun world records before I even realized it. This era, just the very beginning here, I had records that I didn't know about, which was super cool, including Chrono Trigger. If you go to speedrun.com, this run from about 7 years ago is the longest surviving, oldest surviving glitchless Chrono Trigger run. I'm hoping to beat the time of it today, but we'll see. At any rate, do a little scrolling. I have my oldest world record that still stands, Read-Only Memories, from 2016. I've lost a lot of records. I've gained a lot of records. I've fought tooth and nail for a lot of records. I have a real long storied career of chasing world records, of conquering world records, and of going further to stomp world records through the floor into the earth below. Recently, I'd say here, right about this era, when I started playing a lot of demos, I was starting to kind of reach the end of my speedrunning journey, and so from there I really focused in on my favorite game, Lunar the Silver Star, and it took a long journey to get that record. That's one of my proudest ones. I did get the Final Fantasy VII Remake record for a little while. I did get the Final Fantasy 15 world record for a while. Still have the 15 Pocket Edition world record. That's been standing for a long time now. And technically, still, as far as I know, I'm the only person that's ever run Final Fantasy VII with no materia. I did have the HD FF7 world record for a total of 7 days. So in almost every game that I wanted to somehow get a record in, I have at this point. At the end of this, you'll see very easy one bout. That was my last record that re-swept the Battle Arena Toshinden boards. Now that has been swept for over a year. But then it kind of drops off. So like I said, I got to the point where I knew I was very close to 300 records. These are all filled in now. I haven't edited the page, but I think I'm sitting at 306, 307-ish. And it's not easy. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of mental energy, and while I do have a way ahead in Lunar the Silver Star that I'm going to pursue, I've kind of gotten all of my goals accomplished. A little over a year ago, I took the world record for Vi from a legendary runner. I'll just leave it at that. I broke an hour barrier by the end of my running of that game, and that was only about 5 weeks of work. So 5 years, 5 weeks. It's hard to know what's going to happen when you start your speedrunning journey, but yeah, as you see, I think 12 out of 12 records, plus a pacifist run record, Ballerine Toshinden. After that, I tied the TAS to the frame of a Mansion of Hidden Souls bad ending. Finished off the true ending, did some improvement in Virtua Fighter 5, some improvement in EA Sports UFC's Fastest KO. I actually lost that record for like a 10-day period this year. I asked the person who beat the record for a moment if they wanted to come in and talk about it at this part, but they never responded, so under 6 seconds now, real fast. I did some improvement in the Art of Fighting 3 world record, and there's some other stuff I did too. Recently, I haven't actually put it up here yet, but one of my most storied games here, Toy Stunt Bike Tip Top's Trials, I actually improved this record 2 times. And then, after that, my most recent records are Snatcher. Snatcher, they wouldn't allow on speedrun.com. They said it was not a speed game, it was more of a graphic novel. But if that were the case, I wouldn't have been able to save 40 minutes. So I took I had the only run, I did it like 4 years ago or something. And then I've done 3 runs over the last month, where now we're staring down the barrel of the last minute break, or maybe the last 2-minute breaks possible in the game. That was a fun routing, but I just also saw today, a long time ago, I found a run on archive.org, and I was actually just listening to it, so I wasn't watching it, and I would catch every once in a while there'd be some sort of weird audio issue, and it'd be real subtle. But at any rate, there's this Snatcher speedrun on archive.org by Cody Miller, and I realized it was a spliced run. I realized from just the audio, and then I watched the video, and sure enough, there were splices everywhere. And I don't know what it looks like now. I feel like I just looked and maybe my comments were scrubbed, or maybe I put them somewhere else. But at any rate, I was like, hey man, this is not a speed run. This is a cheated, spliced run. Here's a splice here, there's a splice here with timestamps. And now if you look, now it's labeled as an April Fool's speedrun. It's just a joke. But how's splicing a speedrun a joke? It's just, you originally said you ran the game. So, turned out, I had a little idea in my head, and I looked, and that run, even with all the splicing and cheating, 3 hours, 22 minutes. 3 hours, 22 minutes. Isn't that kind of crazy? The game is so long that a spliced, cheated run, 3 hours, 22 minutes. But, wouldn't you know it, when I checked today, my true real world record beat Cody Miller's fake run. That was a cool feeling. That was a goal I didn't even know that I had. That's awesome. I might still run this game. There's a 53-second mistake in it, so if I look at it and I think I can get a 3:16 instead of just a 3:17, I'll probably improve this record a little bit. But that's my most recent record, my most recent routing project, my most recent run, and it was cool. It was real cool. But back to the reason why I'm doing this event. Because not only do I want to do some charity work in my life and things like that, but I've spent 10 years gathering up world records, as you saw. I've accomplished all my goals, and I decided a good way to kind of reform the grinding world record mentality would be to only do things like this. No more degen grinds. So now, hopefully, for the first year, I'm running on SpeedsGiving, and I plan on retiring from speedrunning other than 2 or 3 pet projects that I've talked about here, and I'll be speedrunning using my talents for charity. That's the idea. And so, we begin. Here's a fun thing. Check this out. Can you see it? That is. You'll be able to see real soon. I'm doing an unboxing here of Chrono Trigger for PlayStation. I realized that the game I wanted to play for SpeedsGiving was actually sealed. It's one of my few sealed games that I own. So I thought, kind of be a cool thing. This might be the only time this has ever happened. This with this game, let's say. I love the idea of opening a sealed game. There it is. And popping it in and just playing it all the way through in one sitting. Here we go. Final Fantasy Chronicles Chrono Trigger. Okay, well, interesting. This is something I thought might happen. So as you saw, even though that was a sealed disc, there was a crack in the front. There is a tiny crack in the middle of this disc, but not in the data area. So, let's super hope it works for us, you know? We're kind of counting on it, you know what I mean? But first, let's help ourselves out a little, you know? It looked like that worked. It looked like that worked just fine. I haven't checked my memory card either. I don't know what texture mapping does, but I might as well check my memory card before it's too late, right? Oh, easy. Easy peasy. Alright. Alright. That's a promising start. No, unboxing that was not that big of a deal. That was a cracked, loose disc in the sealed game. Greatest hits version. So, if I were to unseal anything, that's a pretty good choice. I didn't actually research when I'm supposed to start timing, so I'm going to assume that I'm doing it right, but I might not be. But here we go, guys. It's really happening. It's really happening. We're about to start the first run. That might have just started the game. Nope, okay.